We're live.
Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thanks for joining me today as we uncover the mysteries of the Mandela effect itself and find out the true meaning of it all. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
All right. Hope everyone has had a fun-filled week. We're already back on the show live again. These weeks fly right by. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to the show. We're talking about Mandela effects. And let's see. Jeff, I believe you got the birthdays, right? Jeff?
Yes.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah, let's go ahead and cover the birthdays real quick, and then we'll jump right into we got Teresa Lynch sent me 5 links from her group, the Mandela Reality Residue Hunters, so we'll jump right into that after the birthdays.
All right. So we've got Deborah McMillan on the 15th, Katie B on today on the 17th. Happy birthday. And also my friend Jared's birthday is today, the 17th. We got Floyd Stinson on the 23rd, Chris Sinatra on the 28th, and your son Seth on the 30th.
All right,
That's
that is
all
awesome.
the birthdays.
You said Chris Sinatra, right?
Yes.
Now he's pretty well known in the community. He's definitely one of the big guys. And so now onto some good stuff here from Teresa's group. Okay. All right, here we go.
Uh-oh, we lost Brian. Hi, guys. Well, since he is kind of taking a break for a second, I'm going to do a couple shout outs. Hi, Burgos. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Jeff. I see you're in the chat. Yes, Brian is going to get this fixed with the bug that he has issues with his computer. So he will be getting that fixed eventually. So we just got to be a little bit more patient with a little bit more time, and hopefully he'll have a computer that can keep up with StreamYard. So, since I wish happy birthday too, since I didn't chime in earlier when Jeff was going through them. Oh, there he is. He's back. So I'll hand the show back over to you, Brian.
Yeah, sorry, I'm computer blue screened on me or whatever. Hang on one second. I guess I was running too many things at one time. Hang on. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Yep. Okay. Back again. Sorry. Okay. So anybody familiar with this plant? It's a Christmas plant, and we see this around this time of the year. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so the poinsettia,
you.
or was it poinsettia to you? To me, it was always poinsettia. And does the spelling look off to you guys at all? Any horticulture people out there?
That looks off to me. It was poinsettia.
Another extra eye in there.
What, Esther, you familiar with this? Does that look weird to you?
Yeah, it looks weird with the extra eye in there.
Yeah, the eye doesn't make sense because if you pronounce, how are you going to pronounce a poinsettia with an eye on it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's got to be a shift.
Yes. Hold on here.
We got too many letters now.
Otherwise, you pronounce it poinsettia, right? Like you just said, Brian.
Yes, you would pronounce it poinsettia. It was always poinsettia.
Right.
All right.
Well, for me, like that was, I think it was like a year or two ago where like everybody was like poinsettia, and all of a sudden it was like poinsettia, and I'm like, why is everybody pronouncing it weird? So that kind of changed a while ago, but I didn't really think about it because of it's just kind of one of those things you just don't. Even though I know about the Mandela effect, there's so many things that I hear that it's just so overwhelming sometimes that it's like there's just so many of them that sometimes you just get like, oh, I'll look into it later, and then kind of forgot.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just it's easy to get overwhelmed too, especially this time of year. There's so many, which apparently Sandy is like, she's like, there's so many of them right now.
It's like so many different
ones. We get inundated with Mandela effects.
Yeah, it's almost like it comes in waves. Like I'll have nothing, and then all of a sudden I'll find 3, 4, 5 at a time, and then I'm like, whoa, like I'll be fine. Like I'll listen to my music and I'll be fine, and all of a sudden one day it was like song after song after song, and I'm like, why does things keep changing? Like tonight I was singing at church, and we were singing a song. I'm like, I have to look it up, and I'm like, maybe it was a typo, but I have to find out if it was a typo or not. So, because I'm like, this is a song that I know well. Oh, come all you faithful. Know that song. Second verse, they sang yes instead of yay, and I'm like, I gotta look it up. I haven't had time to look it up yet, so I don't know if that's a change yet or not. Like I said, it could have been a typo with somebody when they typed it up and put it on the screen, because I wasn't reading in the hymnal. So, but if it is a change, I will let you guys know. But I know you were talking, Brian, so I know you got some more effects.
Yeah, definitely keep us posted if you catch the change or whatever. Okay, Esther.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna look it up. I just haven't had time tonight. So
there's a Mandela effect here from Paul Caniff, possible Mandela. He says, I don't remember Marv from the movie Sin City in 2005 having these bright white bandages at all during the whole movie, but now he has them in many of the scenes. For me, he never had any bandages. So, and Paul Caniff he's a top contributor of the group, and Rowan says, always had them for me after he goes through a window, I think. I don't know. So this right here could be a possible, but that's why we need you guys out there to confirm this or not. If any of you have seen Sin City and remember it like the back of your hand, if you could tell us if you remember all these bright white bandages on there. Anybody able to read from the chat, guys? Can Tom or Jeff, can you read from the chat?
Yeah.
See what they're saying. What do you guys remember? Do you remember these weird bandages?
I've never seen the movie, but I have seen I've seen him in the movie. Not like the movie, but like, you've seen so many trailers and compilations and stuff like that, and I don't remember him covered in those. Like, that looks weird. That looks like it's pasted on, like somebody photoshopped that. I remember him having a couple because he did get hurt, like his hand and stuff like that, but not all over his.
Not all over, no.
Yeah, it does look photoshopped.
Yeah,
they kind of look like Tetris blocks to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that legit looks like somebody photoshopped it and was like, here, look, believe this. It's like it doesn't look believable. Oh.
Next one
Teresa
up.
says nope.
We have this next one here from Simon Wilson. He's another top contributor to the Mandela Reality Residue Group, Residue Hunters. So this is a bit odd. So I'm working away on my computer designing a circuit board, and I'm working on an address bus connections, and the A's keep changing to inverted V's. Could be a bug in the PCB design software, but I don't think so. I've been using this software for a few months now, and this has only done this today. I think it could be a real-time personal ME. I've seen those inverted V's, ME and logos, etc., on YouTube vids, etc. This could be an ME changing right before my eyes. I mean, is that evidence of something, guys? I mean, something further, possibly. I mean, maybe with the AI doing stuff. I don't know.
It is weird how like
Very strange.
The A's are looking weirder and weirder. I don't understand what's up with the A's. At least it's the letter A.
A's are turning into V's.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Are they trying to say like we're trying to flip things upside down or something? You know, like what used to be last is first and first is last. I don't know.
It would fit what we're seeing in the world. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's just weird to like see the invert. Like, I mean, I owned a Kia, and it was just weird to see the A upside down. Like, it just was weird looking to see the A the way it was.
Yeah, I remember it being a normal A.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Me too, guys.
Like, it's weird, like how like even like O's, like the middle of the O will be like slanted now. Like I have a place here in town, Arrowhead, and there's several O's in Arrowhead, and all of the O's are slanted. Like for the longest time, they were normal; they were straight up and down. And then I noticed Recall Vector did a video, and he was talking about the slanted O's, and then like I went through town, and all of a sudden I looked, and I'm like, all of the O's in town are slanted now. Like it's weird. And not just that place, but there was another place as well in town that had slanted. And I looked at this logo, I don't know how many times. I pass it all the time.
You mean wonky? Were they kind of wonky looking?
Yeah, they were like off to the side. They weren't straight up and down anymore. They were turned like at about a 70-degree angle. So that it was like, no, that wasn't turned that way. And I know they didn't get a new sign. They didn't get a new logo sign. It was the same one, but somehow the insides of the O had been turned, which is just weird. And it was weird because it was like the same week that I was seeing other, like I said, Recall did a video on the wonky O's. And I'm like, well, my signs have changed too. So apparently it was like a world or like a, you know, statewide or whatever like thing. I don't know state, but kind of across America. It wasn't just happening in one state. It was happening all over. So it was just weird.
Oh, you mean kind of like those purple, all the lights turning purple across America, the street lamps?
What's this about purple lights?
You never heard about that? The street lamps were turning from white or maybe an amber color to purple. And,
yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them down here.
Purple lamps at night.
Something like that. Yeah, about that color. Yeah.
Well, that would be new.
Yeah, it's a new technology, I guess.
Well, the way they explained it was the bulbs were they had this outer film, and the outer film, when it burned off, the light would just turn purple. It was a manufacturing glitch or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but all over the country, you see that.
Well, okay. I will definitely keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that. So we have another one from Teresa Lynch. Teresa Lynch's group. This is from Teresa. 9,000-year-old Stonehenge-like structure was found under Lake Michigan. What? Our archaeologists found something much more fascinating than they got credit for when searching under the waters of Lake Michigan. Shipwrecks. They uncovered a rock with a prehistoric carving of a mastodon, as well as a collection of stones arranged in a Stonehenge-like manner. So in modern archaeology, the use of remote sensing techniques is common. Scientists regularly survey lakes and soil for hidden objects. So that's when they found it, I guess. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Like a miniature, like sort of Stonehenge. And some people believe these things were used for calendars or to track celestial bodies like planets and stars and things like that. Other people believe that they were set up as worshiping, maybe for like druid type stuff. I don't know. But it is left to interpretation. Definitely something really odd here that was found at the bottom of Lake Michigan. Let's see, next one up. This is the last one. Okay, so I guess Teresa wanted to save the best one for last. She was watching Elf last week and noticed a slight song change when Buddy the Elf was sleeping in the window at the department store in the movie Elf. And so he was at the window in the department store, and his father was walking by and saw him. So please fill in the blank. Giddy blank, giddy blank, giddy blank. Let's go. Let's look at the show. We're riding in a wonderland of snow. I have never seen it sung this way before. Have you? So we're supposed to post in the chat, you guys, what you remember. I remember giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Let's go. Let's look at the show. The song called Sleigh Ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
That's what it was.
So I'll play this little clip here. Can you guys hear that? Yeah, you guys hear that?
It was very faint, but we can hear it.
Hang on, let me see. Let me see if I can turn it up a tad. Oh, come on. Where's my volume boost? Looking for my volume booster. Guess they don't offer it anymore. I used to be able to boost the sound. They say giddy yap. Giddy yap, giddy yap, giddy yap. It's grand.
Yeah, that's weird.
Isn't that weird? Giddy yap. You guys remember that? I don't.
No way. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, did you guys hear that? He said giddy. She said giddy yap. Giddy yap, giddy yap, giddy yap. Let's go.
Yeah, they never said giddy yap. Come on. That's so crazy.
Weird.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound right at all.
No. Giddy yap. It was always giddy up. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they were trying to get around copyright issues. So why did they just sing the correct lyrics?
They weren't probably, but that'll be the excuse that people use, of course. The man-excuse.
And it's not affected the original song just yet. It's only for that only in the movie Elf so far, from what we can see.
Yeah, so far.
But things how they change.
Yeah.
It sometimes happens in the future, and then the future affects the past somehow, which affects the present. There's something to do with that. The past, the present, the future.
It'll happen incrementally, and then all of a sudden it'll be giddy yap everywhere in every version.
That's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
Teresa, good find. Good find.
Yeah, good find, Teresa.
And also, guys, if you're not members of Teresa's group and you'd like to be, you can join. Just make sure you answer the questions, and one of the admins will be happy to add you. Just keep things clean, and you're welcome to join. How many members do we got, Teresa, now? How many members are you at? Probably like 3,000 something. I mean, she was so excited when she hit the first 1,000. Like it was really like awesome for her, you know.
Wonder if I can find out.
I think it says, "Are you one of the admins, Esther? Jeff, you guys admins?"
Yeah.
Speaking of, somebody's needing approval for a recap.
There you go.
Oh,
we
that's
got
fun.
we got plenty more to discuss, guys. We're waiting. Sandy is finishing up the some of the other things folders actually. So we have some time for a caller or two. Let's see who wants to call in. Anybody want to call in? I'll go ahead and post the number in the chat, and you guys can talk.
2.4K members.
Wow, that's insane. That's awesome.
Yeah, I see Teresa wrote 2,400, which is what I'm reading right now. Yeah, I've been a member since 2018 of October.
18? What?
Yeah.
Where were you in 2018?
Oh, I was here. So yeah, we
No, I
had
mean
just
like everybody knows where they were at when the 911 happened.
Mhm.
But where were you at in 2018? I can tell you exactly where I was at.
Oh no, I was here in like my apartment. Like,
Oh,
especially
okay.
when I remember, like when I heard it, because it was you and Teresa
I mean,
that introduced me
was
to
it
the
the first?
cat thing. So
Well, I don't. Did we ever talk about your story, Esther? Like how you came into the Mandela effect, or how you discovered it, or whatever?
I have a couple of times, but I mean, if you want, I can reiterate.
Sure. Yeah. While we're waiting on a caller, if you want to talk for a few minutes and tell us your story.
The very first time I heard the word Mandela effect was back in about 2016 when Good Mythical Morning did a show all about the Mandela effect. And of course, they had a really convincing argument to make it sound like we were just misremembering. So I just brushed it off, didn't think anything of it. And then a couple years later, I was just watching YouTube and there was a suggestion came up about Tinkerbell and the Mandela effect. And I was like, what? And I'm like, so I watched it and I'm like, well, Tinkerbell never was in the intro. And I was a little confused. And I was just like, no, I remember that. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Even my son remembers the intro. Because there was still like around, but it had just like basically been altered. And I was like, I'm a little confused now, but I was like, well, it's still not completely on board. And then you guys were talking about the Kit Kat not having a dash. I misunderstood it. And I thought you guys were saying that it never had a dash because I was like half listening because my kids were getting ready for school. So I was like, well, I'm like listening, but I'm getting my kids ready for school. So, and I'm like, oh, of course a Kit Kat always had a dash. What are you talking about? And I'm just like getting more and more resolved. Like there's always been a dash. What are you talking about? Because like I said, when you guys were just saying it, like, well, there's never been a dash apparently. So I went to where I worked, which was a convenience store, and I went in and I went over to the Kit Kats to be like, look, there's always been a dash. And then I looked down and there was no dash. And that's when it like hit me, like what you guys were saying was like, oh, there was never a dash, but there was a dash. We remember a dash. But they're saying now in current reality that there was no dash. And I was like totally floored. And I was trying really hard not to like jump up and down and start screaming in the store. I consider that my moment because that was like the one that I was like, yeah, this is definitely for real. Because I remember a dash and I was totally freaking out. And I was like, I didn't want to seem insane to my coworkers. So I just tried to keep it quiet. I even talked to she was my manager at one point, and I was like, hey, like, do you remember the dash in Kit Kats? And she's like, yeah, Kit Kats always had a dash. And I was like, no, like, look at it now. And I showed her the candy bar and she was like, no, that's not right. It's always had a dash. And I'm like, no, apparently not. And she's like, oh, that's weird. And I just remember going, oh, that's cool. Like she remembers it with a dash like I do. And I had another coworker that I used to occasionally like bring up Mandela effects, like the Nightmare Before Christmas. When I told her Tim Burton didn't direct it, she's like, "Stop ruining my childhood." She's like, "No, Tim Burton."
Oh, man.
he directed that. Don't tell me that. And I'm like, no, he never did. So
No, that was another big one for me. It said Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, and now I guess it's not his. He didn't direct it. Apparently, he only I guess produced it.
yeah,
There were some movies that like Tim Burton directed Batman. Let's hope that doesn't change, because do not ruin my favorite Batman movie.
Yeah, well, that's why he didn't do film Nightmare, because he was doing Batman.
Is that the man's excuse?
Yeah, that was the reason why he didn't actually film it, because he was busy doing Batman. And that was the reason. And I was like, I always remember that being a Tim Burton movie. Like everybody remembers it being a Tim Burton movie. So they said that. And then I was telling her about like the Frozen songs, as we were talking about earlier. I had found some changes, and she's like, no, it was always this. And I'm like, no, listen to it now. And she's like, oh, why does it keep changing? I'm like, I don't know.
Well, it was Sweet Dreams Are Made of These for me. Hang on, we have a call, you guys.
Okay.
Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, this is LJ. How are you?
Hey, doing well, and you?
Good. I was watching an auction on Curiosity Inc. And this guy, he's in Canada, and he finds collectibles and auctions them off. And he had a truck from the Fall Guy, a toy truck, and he's not aware of the Mandela effect. But he said, why is it, I think the one he had was brown and something else colors. And he said, because the one in the show, and I forget if he said it was green or blue, but anyway, apparently the Fall Guy's car color has changed. At least the toy was different from what he remembered from the show. I didn't watch the show, so I don't know, but maybe you could look up the Fall Guys truck, and if anybody maybe in chat knows what color they remember, if they remember it being blue or green or brown.
Wait, which truck?
The Fall Guy, the TV show, The Fall Guy.
I hadn't seen that show. Anyone else here has seen that?
It's a show from the 80s.
I didn't watch the show, but he had this pickup truck, two-toes. And the toy that he was auctioning off, vintage toy from the show, it was brown and beige or something. It was a two-tone with brown in it. And he said that's really strange, because the one in the show, I think he said it was green. He either said it was green or blue in the show. It was more colorful in the actual TV show. But he had this vintage toy that was the wrong color, because he knew the show. And so apparently that truck might have changed colors.
I'd have to look that up.
Well, that's interesting. So he was aware that something was different?
Yeah, he doesn't know about the Mandela effect, I don't think. But he just said, this is really strange. The toy is brown, and the one I think he said the one in, I'm a little confused, because he also has a vintage truck himself that he actually drives, and his is green. So I forget whether he said the Fall Guy's original truck was blue or it was green. But anyway, it's more colorful than the toy. So he was wondering, why would the toy be brown? So I don't know what happened there. I don't know if they've all turned brown now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at
I'm
looking at the show, and it is two-toned. It's got the dark brown and like kind of like a yellow color on the side.
Yeah, and that's the color the toy was, but he remembered it in the show as being a brighter color. I'd have to go back and look at the video
Okay.
Because he's auctioning off all this stuff. But it was either blue or green, and he was wondering why was the toy brown. So if anybody else remembers a different color than brown for the Fall Guys truck, he remembered a different color.
I was curious, did you happen to mention the Mandela effect at all to him, or were you kind of nervous too?
I don't really converse with him. I mean, you can comment. This wasn't a live feed. He does some live feeds, but most of his things are pre-recorded.
Yeah.
I didn't bother because he's not aware of the Mandela effect. I don't think so. I didn't really bother.
Well,
Trying to
what's crazy? What's crazy is I work with a bunch of people who, they're a bunch of nerds like myself, and they mention Mandela affected things all the time. Like if you build it, they'll come, or they will come. If the Star Wars, Luke, I'm your father. I've heard many different quotes from movies that are changed, and yet they remember them, and they're, but I'm tempted to tell them about it, but I just feel like I can't do it at work. You just can't, because then they'll peg you as being different.
Christmas party, and they were playing tonight, and they were playing Christmas carols on the way over in the car, and then in the background, and I was hearing all these different lyrics. And I'm like, it was creepy, but I couldn't even say anything. I thought they don't even know this is happening. That creepy one with Mind Slayed a Night and the Red Deep Reindeer. That thing was playing. I'm like,
The red deeked reindeer. It sounds so weird, man. Sounds so weird.
That was playing, and like there were a couple others that were changed, and I'm like, and I just didn't say anything because it's not going to make sense to them.
Well, did you realize that things were off and kind of odd before you discovered the Mandela effect? Did you feel like things were different?
I saw Mandela effects, but I didn't know that's what I was seeing. Like I saw that one pennies had the E and one didn't. Like at Westmoreland Mall, it was one way, and at Monroeville Mall, it was the other way. And I saw that there were Fruit Loops. I saw the two Fruit Loops. I saw the Looney Tunes and Looney Tunes. I saw these, but I chalked them all up to like the corporation sold off part of the business and they can't have exactly the same name. They have to change. That's what I thought was happening. Because mostly what I saw were these brand names, and I just assumed that's what happened. It was a copyright situation.
Well, that's exactly what I remember. Like with Chick-fil-A, I remember seeing something was off about the Chick-fil-A logo, and I worked there. I was an employee there, and my employee name tag changed, all my pay stubs changed, everything changed. But I remember CHICFILA for sure, 100%. And I even asked my boss about it. My old boss, because I still kept in touch with him all throughout the years, and he says he remembers it CHIC too. But I think I shocked him, and I haven't heard from him since I told him about the Mandela. He like completely avoided me, I guess.
Oh, that's great. That company was invented here. I live near Pittsburgh, and I've seen that guy. He's like a local celebrity, sort of.
Oh, which guy?
I definitely remember the original Chick-fil-A, and I saw it change.
Yes, and I talked to a different person, another person about the Chick-fil-A thing. Is actually a guy who repaired my parents' their tractor, lawnmower tractor. He did something with it and did some work on the motor. And this guy had John Deere's, tractors all over his yard that he has for parts, I guess, and whatnot. And I'll never forget him saying that he remembers Chick-fil-A changing in 2001. I told him, I said, if you do your research, it's actually been that way since 1967. And I'll never forget the look on his face was he was appalled and aghasted, like he was just like in shock. And I told him there's many more Mandela effects than just that. It's crazy. And then I told him about my channel, so I hope he still watches my channel.
Yeah, when I saw these brand changes, nobody told me that, they're claiming that this thing it changed to has always been, like, I didn't know that part of it. So I just thought, well, there's two names, that's all. There's just two names for all these different things, and it's a copyright issue. They sold off part of the business, and they couldn't have the same copyrighted name, and that's all that happened. But I didn't know they were saying, no, it's been TOON forever, or it's been the different Chick-fil-A since the beginning. I didn't know that was being claimed at first. One thing was weird, and I thought it was just me until I heard somebody else mention I remember fans, and especially the fans I already owned, they went low, medium, high. And it's like one day I'm like, this goes high, medium, and low. And I thought, well, that's weird, but I'm a little dyslexic, so I thought, oh, it probably always was that way. And then I heard somebody else saying all the fans have gone backwards. I'm like, yes, all the fans have gone backwards. It's like every fan I own and every fan I see now goes high, medium, low, and that doesn't even make sense. It's like the power would increase more. You know, you would naturally turn something on from lower to higher. That's the natural progression you would want. And so it's like, why would you want something that went high and then medium and then low? That doesn't even make mechanical sense.
That is weird.
Yeah.
So, wait, you're telling me the fan settings changed for you?
Yes, fans off, all reversed. I remember they always went low, medium, high. When
Yes.
You turn it off, you turn it
Yeah.
on. Turn it on. The first setting was low. Then you could gradually turn it up. Then it would go medium, high.
Right.
Turn on, it goes high, medium, low.
Yes, that's the same way with ceiling fans now.
Yep, all the fans reversed.
Oh yeah, that's right. You click in high speed. Yeah, all the fans like my.
One day it was the other way, and I just chalked it up to me being, confused about it until I heard other people mention it. It's like, yes, all the fans.
Oh my gosh, that's
just
just
like the stoplights are all.
yes. Oh my God, you read my mind. I was just thinking of the stoplights.
All of a sudden the stoplights are upside down. All of a sudden the fan settings are reversed.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That is-
then they got Madagascar in risk changed to some other continent. That was one that I noticed myself. Like, I forget what it is now. It used to be Madagascar, and now it's something else.
Yeah.
They changed.
Let me ask you guys something. Have you ever heard of reality shifting? That's something that's real, like that people can actually cause their own shifts. Apparently,
I don't believe that's what's happening, but I could understand people thinking that.
Well, it's a popular TikTok trend right now. People think they can access alternate worlds. Supposedly, reality shifting is where users say that they're transported to another life, and it's exploded on TikTok. But the former shifters say it harmed their mental health. So be careful of that. You don't want to cause shifts.
See, to me, my thought on this is there was one thing in the first place. It was all these things were a certain way at first. Then they actually did change, and the reason I think that is because of how you can get an update, how you can be aware that you're getting an update, right? You can actually feel yourself thinking.
Somebody got really.
Goes over people that makes them think that, and not everybody gets the update, But so I think things were a certain way in the first place, and they do change, and they can even flip flop back to the first way,
I think we lost Jeff. We're going to get him back here in just a second. Are you still there? Caller?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
I'm sorry. What did you say your name was again? LJ. Okay. LJ, yes. So psychology is still trying to understand. They're trying to get a grasp around the Mandela effect as described to fully what it is. But apparently, this idea of reality shifting and it trending on TikTok. TikTok is making people go crazy. Like lately, all I see on TikTok is people doing like they're doing, what do you call that? Where you have like these choreographed dancers. That's what I get on my feeds a lot. People are dancing to like hip hop songs and stuff like that on my feeds.
I don't watch TikTok, so I really don't know.
Yeah. It's
Hey,
probably
Brian.
What?
Hey Brian, I got to jump.
Okay,
I'll
Tom.
talk to all you guys later. All right.
All right, thanks.
Have a good night.
You too, Tom.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye now.
All right. Bye, brother.
Yeah, Jeff will be back in a little bit.
So real quick, so I was reading here about these three former shifters told Insider they started shifting as a means of escapism. So for this 17-year-old Anya Woods who lives in Manchester in the UK, shifting appealed to her because it gave a sense of excitement and opportunities during the COVID lockdown. I never knew this was real. Do you guys, anyone ever heard of this? I know one person in the chat said they did it before. Who was it? Sweet Cartoons said they did it before. But I definitely don't want the side effects of mental health, issues causing harm.
Right. I don't know whether people can do that or not. Maybe they can. I don't know. But something else is going on. Because the dimes changed. That one really freaked me out.
Yes.
What? From Eisenhower to Roosevelt, and
yes.
There's another show called What the Hells, and they buy storage units, and they had these old collector sleeves for the Roosevelt dimes, because the Roosevelt dime came before the Eisenhower dime. So why would that be an old collectible and have old collectible sleeves if those are still the dimes up till today?
Listen,
the Eisenhower dimes go.
I don't know. I was a coin collector. I still collect coins. Like, I don't do it as much as I used to, but I have like a jar full of them, and I definitely have some Eisenhower dimes, but now they're Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and a lot of people are saying that Delano just sounds wrong, doesn't it? Like Delano, I don't know. Like to them, so I forget what it. That's the way I've always Franklin Delano. That's the way I've always heard of it. But some people are saying they remember something different. Now, if you remember something different, what?
They probably do remember something different.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of weird stuff is going on here, and it's like most of us who have Mandela effect channels. I don't know why, but like it seems like our subscriber base is typically pretty small compared to other things out there. I mean, the Mandela effect is the greatest show on earth. It's something amazing and is happening here. We continue to investigate it, and it's sort of like that news story that keeps going and going, like you're trying to figure out what's going on. So we're hoping through different people's perspectives that we actually get a grip on, okay, is there a pattern to this? Because in the realm of science, you and investigation, you have to be able to question things. And I really feel like the AI, I feel like we weren't supposed to wake up, but somehow we did, and we're here.
Mm-hmm.
But you're definitely not alone, LJ. You're definitely not alone out there.
I know a lot of people, see these things. I think I have less of. I don't have a lot of individual personal ones. I mean, that fan one kind of was, but then other people thought so. It wasn't just me. It was a lot of people. I've had a few that were just personal to me, but not that many. But it's just continent shifting. That has to be about the top of the list of that is bizarre. And things shifting even within a continent. Towns moving around. And
yes.
Roadways.
Yes.
Moving. That's about the. You can't get much bigger than that. But I just think. Like with the stoplights, what happens? They're colorblind people, and they don't go by the color. They go by which light is on. So, there must have been a lot of wrecks the day that flipped, because the wrong light would have been on for them. Plus, a lot of people, they say that after you've been driving for 10 years or more, you quit looking at the color, and you do the same thing like a colorblind person. Your brain just kind of looks at which one's on, and you're no longer really looking at if it's red or green. You kind of look at it out of the corner corner of your eye, your brain just registers which one's on. And so, like, there must have been tons of wrecks. I did hear some people say that there were. Some people did come up with a date. And like in certain towns, I guess people realized when it happened, and they said there were a lot of wrecks.
That would be interesting to look up and like find out like the numbers and statistics of like how many red lights, got ran that day, or like how many accidents and what towns. That'd be pretty interesting to find out.
There had to be a lot after that, not only on that exact day, but ever since then,
Has anyone noticed there's been an increase in traffic accidents?
I've noticed there's a lot more bad drivers out there.
Bad drivers.
Lots of bad drivers. I'm very passive aggressive when I drive.
Yeah, my mom, hang on, guys. My mom says she remembers Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Eleanor, yeah, some people remember it that way.
I don't remember Franklin.
I mean, I remember Delano, but then again, Delano does sound weird.
Yeah, Delano for me doesn't sound right, but who knows? I don't know.
I mean, wasn't his wife's name Eleanor?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's the man.
Eleanor. I think people would have made fun of that.
I feel like they would have too.
They love to poke at politicians. I think that would have been a joke, Eleanor.
I think you're right. Does anybody have any, like, do you have a theory as to what's happening at all?
Well, like
LJ?
I said, I don't think there's different timelines or alternate universes. I think one thing happens in the first place, and then it changed, and then maybe it flip-flops. But there is something that makes us take an update. And so there's something beyond us that's doing this to us.
Right. I think I don't know, the very fact that a lot of us seem to remember the same things leads me to believe that some of us are in fact on some of the same frequencies. And they've already proven that frequencies can actually be used to transport items through solid material. Frequencies can travel very long distances.
The only reason you don't go through a wall is because you're on a different frequency as that wall.
Yes, if somehow you're able to tune into the frequency of the wall, you could pass through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying these are what my thoughts are. Who knows? It's just. I know I had a pair of shorts, and I was really happy about them because I could wear them to my spa, and they had pockets. And women's athletic shorts, they don't like to make them with pockets. This is a very unusual thing. I was really happy about it because I could put my locker key in my pocket while I exercise, right? So, and I did that. I went and several, I went, I don't know, 10 times. And I would just wear the same clothes every time I went. I would wash them in between, but I would just keep wearing the same ones. So 10 or 12 times I wore these shorts, right? And I could put my locker key right in that pocket. And doggone it, I went one day and there was no pocket in those shorts. And I'm not the only one. I've heard. At the time, I told that story on Dan's program, and he thought Fizzy would talk me out of it. Fizzy's like, no, women's shorts don't come with pockets. She said, you would know that. That's something a woman would know. she didn't try to talk me out of it. But I've heard other people say that their pockets came and went. So that see, like at first that was just personal at me, but now I'm finding out it's happened to other people.
I wish they would come up with dress pants with correct pockets.
Yes.
Can they all think that positively, like we need to get dress pants for women with pockets? Like they think that women don't want pockets if they have dress pants on.
Yeah, they think women don't want pockets. They assume you want to carry a purse everywhere. It's like, no, I don't actually want to carry a purse everywhere.
I don't even own a purse. I don't like them.
Yeah, it's not safe. It's not very convenient. I do take a purse some places sometimes, but I got to the point where I'd rather just take my stuff in my pocket.
I don't even have a wallet for that same reason.
Dress pants usually don't come with pockets, or they come with those mini half pockets or something. Or I've even had them sewn shut pockets just to look like a pocket.
I do not get that. Why do you have something that looks like a pocket without actually letting me have the pocket? I've literally like cut open.
There's many things. You know, this is something. No, I know this is going to be controversial when I say this. I know people are going to hate on me for it probably, but I don't understand the phenomenon of blue jeans at all. And then here's the thing. Okay, blue jeans really as a fashion idea came in the 60s. Okay, there were blue jeans before that, but they were just work pants. They weren't anything. Okay, so I understand something being a fad. Everything is a fad at some point, right? But why are blue jeans still a fad in 2022? That nothing else has. I'm like, there's something wrong going on here. It's like the blue Smurf people or something. It's like you know, if somebody made you do this, you would rebel. Everybody will wear blue denim for 100 years. You will not be able to wear it. We all rebel, right? We don't buy knit pants and striped pants and flower pants because nobody can tell us that we must wear blue denim. But we do it voluntarily, and I don't understand that. And beyond that, now I'm really going to get hate on this. Is the ripped open knee jeans. Okay, I understand that being a fad, okay? I get it, anything can be, but those have been a fad for way too long. Those have been in for 20 years. I mean, you know, first of all, blue jeans should not be something people wear for decades, unless there's something strange in their brain as a fashion idea. And then that specific thing it's like, are people sick of it? Like, people used to get tired if something was a fashion for 5 years, like that was already too long. So I don't know. There's something not right about the blue jean thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I wear blue jeans, but like a dark wash. I don't get the whole ripped jeans part. It's like when I was a kid, if you ripped your jeans, you threw them away. So I'm confused what the deal is with the ripped jeans. I mean, I see people, they look like they've been mauled by a wild animal. And I'm like, how do you wear those clothes? That's the new like look.
For 5 years. I get that. But it's been 20 years. That's what I don't understand. Anything can be a fad. Absolutely anything can be a fad. And if I'm a teenager and that was a fad, I would probably wear it. You know, but it's too long. You know, like, I don't know. There's something
is there a comfortable thing to wear?
Or something.
I think it's just because it's a comfortable, easy. It just feels like it just doesn't go out of style kind of look. I think that's.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen one of the style. Why aren't people sick of them? I like blue jeans. I wore them as a teenager, you know, in the 1970s. And somewhere in the 1980s, I had just had it with jeans. And I haven't had blue jeans since. I was just sick of them. You know, I'm like, I'm really sick of these. And people say they're the most comfortable pants. They're not. Believe me, they're not. There are much more comfortable pants, you know, that you can get. And I understand men. I totally understand it for men. Guys don't care. You know, they want to wear what all the other guys wear. So that, I get it. But women, I don't understand it. They wouldn't put up with anything else for more than 5 or 10 years is really long for something to be in style. That's really, really long. A whole decade, you know. There's I don't know. And then they're always, look at the style of these blue jeans. Why, you can express your personality because these blue jeans fit tighter in the ankles, fit lower on your hip, have a multicolored pocket, have a ripped out knee, have an applique butterfly. It's like they're all the same.
I'm just curious, LJ, have you ever had any near death experiences?
No, I haven't. That's one of the things that I've wondered about, because it seems like a lot of. I was even going to mention that I have not had. So I never did have. So that I can't. I didn't have that.
I like what Joe Bloor said. He said, "Let's all wear MC Hammer pants."
Yes.
Yes, the torn jean look is really weird. Yes, you just wasted your money on low quality pants. It's broken already. I agree. I don't understand. Like, how do you buy jeans that are already pre-ripped? Especially where I live in New England. You don't want your jeans to be ripped because you're gonna freeze to death. It's really hard to find a pair of jeans now that doesn't have rips in them. It is extremely, especially for my daughter, trying to find pants that don't have rips in them. And I'm like, why is this a thing? Why is it so hard to find pants that's not ripped?
Program. Clothes don't function anymore. They don't function as clothing. There's winter sweatshirts with a bare midriff. That doesn't function as clothing.
Yes. A lot of shirts up here are all like.
They're not really clothes anymore. They don't keep you warm in the winter. It's like some of the stuff just, I don't know, some things people can't even think anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's like, we want the second half of the shirt. Please give us the bottom half. Like, there's some really cute shirts and stuff like at Walmart, and I'm like, oh, that'd be so cute. But I'm like, oh no, but there's no belly, and I don't want my daughter walking around with her belly exposed. It's like, no, I want her to dress modestly. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Like I said, I understand fads. I understand that a bare midriff can be a fad, but in the wintertime, it gets down to 10 degrees, and sometimes it gets below zero where I live, and you're going to be outside with a, I don't understand, bare belly. I mean, that just doesn't even, I mean, you're not going to be able to function in life with that. That's beyond a fashion thing.
I don't know. The fashion is definitely different than what it used to be.
You get disco pants.
There used to be specific, like, everybody had to wear a specific type of fashion item, like based on the decade you were living in. So if you were living in the 60s, you had to wear 60s style clothes. Like, but now there's really almost no style.
No.
You can live in whatever era you want to.
Pretty much. And so I just wanted to say something real quick. So I went into Taco Bell the other day and I ordered a chalupa. When I got to the window, they asked if I wanted any sauce. I told them I liked some medium sauce, and they looked at me funny, like I had 3 heads on me. And so they told me all they have is mild, hot, fire, and Diablo. I ended up going with the hot sauce, but I swear I had the medium before.
I remember medium sauce.
You do? Wow. I could even picture the packet in my head. You know, and you know, Taco Bell has those cute little sayings on all the packets now. Like, I don't know, like if you wanted to, kind of like, I think they got the idea from Dove chocolates. When you open the Dove chocolate, you know, you have like this little cool secret message in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of where they got it from. But I know you can buy a jar of medium sauce at the store. So where are my dang packets?
But are they saying they never had them?
No. The spice level was medium. They used to have them but they don't have them. They've according to the people that work there, they told me they've never had medium.
Unfortunately, I don't go to Taco Bell enough.
Facility that they discontinued it, at least at that branch, and the employees are new. I mean, that could be a man's excuse too. You'd have to see what the official company said, whether the
yes, and that's another thing. Like most of the people they hire, they don't stay but for a year or two, and then they're gone, right? I mean, most of the time at restaurants, they're not there long, and so they don't know. They're not going to notice any changes. I don't know. It is kind of frustrating when you're trying to explain to somebody, but they're they just look at you like you're blue in the face. I have had trouble before. But then I explained the Mandela effect to somebody while we were standing inside JCPenney. And so she, without even looking at the logo, nothing to do with, I said, how do you spell JCPenney? And I even recorded her. I told her, look, I want to record our conversation. Is that okay? She said, yes. So I said, how do you remember JCPenney being spelled? And she remembers JCPenney. And I had to kind of be sneaky about it because you can't typically. I mean, it's a public domain. You're technically supposed to be able to record in a place, but I guess they think it's espionage, so they don't want you to do very much. So I had to be kind of quiet about it. But I just recorded her for a brief moment, and she told me, yeah, it was JCPenney. And then so I proceeded to show her on my phone what it is now. And she's like, yeah, it was always like that, JCPenney. I'm like, but you just said it was JCPenney. And I don't know if you know this from watching our show or if you're new to the channel, but we talk about this phenomenon. It's called the Smith effect, where somebody says one thing and then they go back to saying, yeah, it was always like that. It kind of.
I mean, I've been watching your show for a long time, but the Smith effect, I didn't realize you called it that. But that's just when a person just instantly switches their story.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, where they take you up to.
Lady, she worked at Penny, so I know what Penny's is spelled like. And her mall had old spelling, and the next mall over going west, Monroeville. She worked at Westmoreland Mall. That's east of Pittsburgh. And then as you go further west toward Pittsburgh, there was Monroeville Mall, and theirs had switched to the EY. So there was a time when one mall was one way and the other mall was the other way.
Yeah.
And now they're both the new way. But I mean, yeah. Like I said at the time, I was chalking it up to a copyright issue. I didn't know that they were claiming it had always been that spelling. I didn't know that. So yeah, but I know how Penny's was because my mom worked there.
And you remember Penny, right?
Penny, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very.
And that was his name, JCPenney. That was his name spelling.
Well, I'm curious. Is your mom? Did you ask your mom about it?
No, I don't even. I don't try to explain it to anybody.
Oh man.
I don't try to, My mom too. She's quite elderly, so at this point, like it would just, she'd be too confused about it anyway. But no, I don't discuss. I'm surrounded by normies, and I've never really I've never tried to really bring anybody around to this ever.
I try occasionally, but I'm very careful. Like my whole family thinks I'm crazy when I talk about it. And it was funny because recently my youngest sister brought up, she's like, when was double stuff spelt with one F? And I'm like, yeah, I would love to point out the fact that, that's a Mandela effect. But if I do, you're going to freak out at me. So, because her husband used to believe in the Mandela effect. And now he doesn't. And now he's turned everybody oh, you're crazy. Legit wanted to get me committed and stuff, thinking I was high or something. And I'm like, I don't do drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Double that changed. I'm trying to remember the way. You know what? I'm having a dual memory of 1F and 2F. That isn't something we ever bought, but I've seen it in stores.
Yeah. Oh, I love double stuffed Oreos, and one of my other sisters actually remembered it
I'm
stuffed.
getting confused with that fluff. That is big white stuff in a jar fluff.
Yeah. Fluff.
I think I'm getting that mixed up with the double stuff in the Oreos. I thought double stuff in Oreos had 2Fs.
Yeah, I remember it 2Fs, and then it looked weird with 1. And then my older sister remembered it double stuffed with ED at the end, and I'm like, well, I just remember double stuff, but she remembers it differently. Both of them remember something different.
Some people had 1F. For me, it was 2Fs.
Yeah, I remember 2Fs because it looks weird with 1, and I'm like, that's not right. That's not how you spell stuff.
Oh, you mean like the double stuff? That's the thing. I order them all the time for my daughter, and they had the 2Fs.
Yeah, that was definitely a change.
So something that I noticed on Reddit about Cubs at the end of The Lion King, and I don't know, maybe it's something worth checking out here. But this person Tall Adhesiveness posts 2 days ago says, I noticed this Emmy years ago and thought I was crazy before Emmys were known. I've asked dozens of people since, and I've found a few other people agree, including my 3 siblings. There were 2 cubs at the end of the first Lion King. In the cave at the end, Nala removes her paw to reveal 2 snuggly cubs sleeping in a yin-yang position up against Nala's chest with her other paw wrapped around them. One is light and one is dark, so you assume it's a boy and a girl. When the second Lion King came out, I was surprised that there was only 1 cub, Kiara. I didn't see the first one in theaters, and we had on VHS, and I watched it all the time as a kid. Please tell me there are more people out there with this memory. So I'm so adamant that I've gone down rabbit holes of research. It turns out that the 2 cubs was one possible ending where the writers toyed with it, but got scrapped before anything else was illustrated. I have checked books at that as a kid, and they all just have 1 cub. So I'm not confusing it with something else. There's also now the Disney show The Lion Guard, where they have 2 cubs. My memory of the 2 cubs, and then the realization that was inconsistent with everyone else, all came along before The Lion Guard came out. So I'm curious. Again, that's a good note there. So basically, whenever somebody discovers something is off, like when you discover, hey, this doesn't seem right, like with the ceiling fans and with the fans in general.
Mm-hmm.
What was your first reaction? Did you ask anyone else what they remembered?
No. I just thought this is really strange. I really thought it was the other way, And then, but it didn't even occur to me to ask anybody about it, And I don't think I was listening to the Mandela shows yet, or maybe I was. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But no, probably not. And so I just thought it was me, me just being majorly confused about something. And I thought it was just that one fan too, okay, it's just this one fan, and I must be confused, And then somebody was on one of the shows. I don't know if it was your show or Dan's show, somebody, and they were saying like all the fans are backwards. I'm like, and then I'm like, yes, all the fans. I looked at all my fans, and they all go that way. And I'm like, you're right. It was all of them were the other way in my past. And then once somebody else said it, all of a sudden I was like, yes, I'm sure about that. They all went low, medium, high in my past, and now they all go high, medium, low. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, you have to wonder. Okay, was it set up like that originally, and did it change, or what happened in between?
I think things are actually changing. I mean, I think the stoplight flipped upside down. I think the dime changed what face was on it. I think that one day all the fans reversed. That's what I think happened. I think some of the stuff Something obviously has the power to do this. It has the power to both change things and has the power to change people's minds about how they see it.
I'm curious if you know, if you've ever heard of A Smooth Criminal with Michael Jackson. If you've ever watched that music video before or heard the song.
I wasn't a Michael Jackson.
Not really much of
it. Kind of made me sick at my stomach. I never liked him.
Okay.
But what happened in?
Well, in the song, he says, "You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth criminal," but now it's "You've been hit by, you've been hit by." It sounds like a broken record, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
Okay, I didn't like the song. I know that was definitely "You've Been Struck By."
yeah,
It was definitely.
it was struck by.
I did not like the song, but I do remember
know
like,
that.
it was all like word all the time played on the radio, so you couldn't escape the song. Whether you like Michael Jackson or not, you heard that song about 1,000 times a day.
Weird thing about the Jacksons is that extra kid in the family, the one that comes and goes on album covers. There's the Jackson 6 in some of them, and it's weird because it's not only which of the children were in the Jackson 5, but it was like some records were showing that they did or they did not even have that child in their family at all, besides just being in the musical group.
Yeah, that was weird too. I remember I watched a documentary on that. They had 5 kids. There was no 6 kids.
They had more than 5 kids, but they put the ones they thought were, the most talented ones in the group. I think they have 1 or 2 sisters, I think, and maybe one other brother. I don't know, but I forget now how many kids they did or didn't have. But it's just there's that one that pops up, and he's on some of the albums and not on others. And then in some reports, he didn't even exist in their family, and in other reports, he did. The floating Jackson, I don't know. But that's when they were the Jackson 5.
Yeah, but apparently there was a
6 of them wouldn't even fit.
Yeah, there's a 6th one.
Yeah, that's just weird.
So apparently, in the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, that's one of the famous Christmas movies. There's a line that said it's "and the gerbils," right? Do you remember that?
I'm trying to think if I've seen that one. I'm thinking of the Griswolds, I think. I don't know if I've seen that movie or not.
You hadn't seen the Christmas Vacation? You should check it out if you hadn't seen it.
I might have seen it. I don't know. I'd have to be more reminded about what all happened in that movie. There were gerbils in it?
Yes.
What happened about the gerbils? Hello?
Yes, it says the post was taken down. Oddly, it's just something on Reddit. It was about the gerbils, but then another person said that they've heard that before. Are you familiar with that saying on that movie at all, Esther?
What was the thing supposed to be?
It's been a long time since I've watched the movie. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Esther. I'm
Jeff.
back. Hey, Brian.
Let me see what the quote is actually supposed to be. Hold on one second.
I would probably recognize it when I heard it. I have watched it quite a few times, but it's just been a while.
So in the Christmas Vacation, it says here the rubber sheets and the blank and the ... to the bedside table where the kids have their pet gerbils in a cage. Now, one thing I noticed about that movie in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, he reads at the end of the movie, he reads the Chevy Chase reads that book the night before Christmas.
Mhm.
And I noted that he said, settle their brains for a long winter's nap. Do you remember that at all, LJ? I don't.
I'm not familiar with the movie. The more you're
No,
talking about it, I don't think I saw the movie.
what I'm asking is if you're familiar with the story of the night before the night before Christmas.
Oh, yes, I know that.
And all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse, and all that. And then somewhere down it says, settled their brains for a winter's nap. I don't remember that at all. And I know that is one of the older
Brains
effects.
wasn't in it originally, no.
It was settled down.
It was settled down.
That's what I remember too. But I noted that Chevy Chase says it in the movie the way it is now.
Well, a couple of movies that changed a lot for me. One is
Thanks,
called
Sam.
and it's with, you mentioned Richard Gere, and that's why, or somebody mentioned Richard Gere, maybe it was in the chat. But anyway, he rides the subway and he sees this beautiful girl in this window, and she's at a dance studio. So he doesn't tell his wife, and he starts taking dance lessons because he really wants to have an affair with this girl. But she doesn't go for that. But he winds up enjoying dancing anyway. So, but he never tells his wife because it sort of started out as, you know, something else in his mind. So he never tells her. Well, then she thinks he is having an affair, and she has him investigated. And your husband is ballroom dancing, ma'am. You know? So she's not upset or anything. So she takes her daughter, and he's in this big competition, and she surprises him, and it freaks him out. Well, anyway, there's this other guy in the movie, and he works in the same office with Richard Gere, I think, and he's afraid to be known. He's not gay. He's straight. He said, "Do you know how much easier this would be for me if I were gay?" So like he doesn't want anybody in the office to know he's dancing. So he wears this real long black wig, and he disguises himself when he dances. So the funniest thing in the movie is they're in this competition, and he rips the wig off. He throws it, like he's going to be known for who he is, that he likes to dance and he hates football, you know. So I'm waiting for that moment in the movie, and he doesn't do it now. He doesn't throw his wig off.
Wow.
And it's a big moment in the movie, and now it doesn't happen.
Is that scene edited?
No, it's different. It's not like it's edited out. They just did the scene. It's just the scene is just different now.
Okay.
So that one changed. And then there was a episode of Poirot, which not everybody knows this. It's an old series, and he's
Poirot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a detective kind of thing, isn't it? Like,
yeah, he's a detective.
yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and now I do get brain farts sometimes. Now my mind's kind of going blank on it. There was an ending of one of his shows, and it was really funny, but my mind's blanking out on what it was. Anyway, it ends differently. It's frustrating me now because I can't tell you the details. I talked about it on Dan's show. One of the people in the chat remembered it the same way I did. And I was waiting for that ending. Like, I'm watching the whole show because there's this really funny thing that happens at the end. I think it was about, it was the one about the Cayman. Yes, that was it. His assistant gives him this stuffed Cayman that he got on his, he went on an African safari or something. He gives it to Poirot as a gift, and he's a neat freak, and he can't stand the thing, but he can't tell his friend that he can't stand it, so he acts like he likes it. And this guy that he saves through his investigation, the guy that looked guilty and he proved that he was innocent, he's in love with the Cayman. So at the end,
Oh, you're telling me that that's not the line is not set anymore?
They don't say it, and I was waiting for that line. That was the punchline of the whole show. Him saying, "I'll make the sacrifice."
Now, does he say that? Does he say that on every show or just the one episode?
No, it was just that particular. It only pertained to that one
Oh,
episode.
wow.
And somebody else remembered that line too.
So it's got. So that's got.
Remembered in that line. He doesn't say it now.
Wow. Wow. That's kind of like how they they bleeped out somehow the like the Luke I'm your father's no longer said the you know
a lot of those famous lines.
it's that other line beam me up Scotty that everybody remembers and it's not said anymore. I don't know that it never ceases to amaze me, the Mandela effect. It just keeps going and going like the Energizer Bunny. We do have to cut the calls for right now, only because we're about to get into the main chunk of the Christmas Mandela effects. But we enjoyed having you on,
I love the
LJ.
show. I don't usually go in the chat, but I watch all the time.
Yeah, but feel free to call in again another time if you would like. If you see anything new, definitely find out first if other people are affected by it, and if it's something that's like this, like the fans that you notice, that's huge for me. I don't know about you, Sandy. Sandy hasn't.
Other people have those. Check your fans and see which way they go.
Yeah, Sandy, check your ceiling fans in your apartment. Do they operate high, medium, low, or low, medium, high?
Mine were not ceiling fans. They're all
like box fans.
Yeah, a couple box fans, and I have I think 3 different box fans, and then I have one that's a couple of them are on stands, but all of them go high, medium, and low. And I know fans, all my life went low, medium, high.
Yep, definitely something to and like you said, it reminds me of the stoplights. It reminded you of the stoplights as well. But yeah, LJ, we enjoyed having you on. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. If we don't see you again, have a Merry Christmas. All right. Take care.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Sandy.
Oh, that was really sweet. That was a good call, guys. She was such a good call there. We definitely appreciate you guys participating. Hopefully more of you will have a chance to call in. Feel free to call in. We're happy to have anyone. So let's go straight right in. We're going to dive right into the main chunk of tonight.
Now, there is a folder you're skipping. I crossed it out twice and showed you. Do not do it. It's not my content. I have to wait for it.
You have to wait for approval?
No, I have to wait for them to show it on their channel first.
Okay.
So there's a folder.
Let me just make sure that, whoops.
It says Brian Do Not Do. That's the name of it.
I didn't see the Brian Do Not Do. Let me look.
Yes. I see white people.
Yeah, I don't even see the Brian Do Not Do.
Then you have to refresh. You're probably missing folders.
I love pressing F5. It's very refreshing. Okay.
I got that.
You get it, Esther? It's kind of nerdy. All right, so we'll start off with this one here. This one's related to Philadelphia, right, Sandy?
No, you're still missing some. You have to go back.
I refreshed.
I know you
I
have
only
to
see
go back.
5.
Yeah, before that, before the Do Not Brian. There's folders from Curiouser.
Yes, I was going to do those later. Do you want me to do them first?
No, I want you to do them first. Get them out of the way.
All right.
It's only 3 folders.
Okay. Somebody just mentioned in the chat, Timmy falling down the well. I actually have a mug that says Timmy fell down in the well on the mug, and Lassie says, "Sucks to be him." That's awful, isn't it? Anyway, not too long ago, the internet went crazy over a blue-black dress that many saw as gold and white. I'm one of those that sees blue and black, but some of you guys are seeing the blue and white, right?
I can change back
Or
and
the
forth.
white, huh?
I can
The white and
at will
gold.
change back and forth.
How do you do that?
Okay, so to see the white, I stare at the whatchamacallit, the jacket part, and then I'll start to see the white and gold come through. And then if I want to see the black and blue, I stare at the big band in the middle, and it starts to shift to black and blue.
Yeah, they say it has to do something with your rods and cones, and that's how you are able to see images like that. So then a new one once again had surfaced, had many people confused. This is a pink-white sneaker that many saw as mint and gray.
Welcome, Spaced Out Productions.
Okay. Now, to me, it was like a salmon color in the picture, and I could still see the white laces with the salmon colored shoe, but some people were seeing green laces or whatever, depending on the light. Well, now there's another confusing photo, thanks to singer Billie Eilish. So her Nike shoes not only confused the internet, but confused her own dad. Only he was confused in person, not from the photo. What two colors do you see? I see white and pink.
What does the chat see?
What do you see,
Right,
Sandy?
Dami Mikado sees pink white.
Pink white. Yep.
Let's see. Pink white for Esther.
I
What
feel
about
like
you,
I'm
Jen?
taking an optometrist or one of those tests where they look at the numbers and the letters and tell us what you see.
Yeah, it is
These are
optometrist.
unretouched photos. These are the photos she posted, and she got upset because of it. Frank is pink and white, and Animal's pink and white, Taryn is pink and white and pink. Hayden Nathan is white and pink. Sweet Cartoons is
But
pink
what's
and white.
confusing about her shoes?
Jeff, what do you see?
Pink and white.
Hi, Anita. Hi, Philo.
Her fans saw white with pink letters, started telling her she needed to get her eyes checked. It upset her so much she took another picture outside to prove everyone wrong. The shoes are mint with white letters. The white of the letters is a little gray looking because they're dirty from constant use, according to Eilish.
So here you can clearly see the shoe is mint with white letters. But it totally looked pink and white inside.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even see the mint color. They look white to me with pink letters.
Still?
I see mint with like slightly pink, not even white letters.
She took it next to a pink shoe on the left. The left shoe is a different shoe. It's got a pink sole. She took it with the pink sole so you could see there's no pink in her shoe. Do you want to zoom in on that bottom picture, Brian? The bottom
Which
left?
one?
Over to the left more so that they can see the pink shoe. There you go. So can you see the mint now that you see the pink sole? I mean, there's also a pink border around it.
Yeah. I don't see the mint color. Do you see it, guys?
Yes,
I
clear as
do.
day.
I can on the outside picture.
I'm not seeing it. So anyway, I'm showing this because I'm really starting to believe that this is a Mandela effect, not just a weird play on light. Why is it that the photos like this didn't break the internet until 2017? I think perception and vision are changing, and that's the ME. What do you think?
Quite possible.
Well, not only vision, but we have hearing. Like the green needle experiment or whatever. I mean, that thing, I can hear brain needle, I can hear needle, at will.
What's
so
funny is you bring that up is we were just watching Mitchell's and versus the Machines on Netflix the other day or whatever it was. And that song that actually has like multiple words. The name of the song. It's Rihanna. But you can hear either I'm a paper pusher, I'm a butt kisser. Sorry for the lyrics.
What?
That. And literally on the movie, that's what I heard. I'm a butt kisser, and I'm like, wow, like this is appropriate.
Jeff had to have been muted right there because I missed hearing his laugh.
Like there's definitely like you can hear like all different. I think there's like 3 different versions. Like I don't remember the original lyrics. It's a Rihanna song. I can't remember the name.
Yep, I saw that. Moneybags posted that, and several others like it that were really weird. I heard every single different thing that he said that you would hear. It was crazy.
Yeah, it all depends on what you were reading on the screen.
Yeah,
and I heard it while I'm watching the movie, so it's totally unrelated. How I could hear, and I know it's not I'm a butt kisser. I know that is what I heard while watching the movie. And I'm like, wow, that's very interesting it's not so it's like a 1000% no, it's true because you're not watching it on a video that, you think could be altered. It was on a movie that had nothing to do with it. So it's like, it was definitely, not doubting his authenticity, but it's like when you hear it from another place, you're like, oh wow, like it just really cements it even further, like in my mind when I hear it from other sources that had nothing to do with it. They're not trying to talk about different hear what you want to hear. They were just playing a movie. They were playing a song in a movie. So I just thought that was really interesting.
Most definitely. Yeah, but a lot of lyrics have changed in songs to me. Songs keep changing, especially the ones for me, like Christmas songs. That I heard, people are playing Christmas music at work, and I keep hearing in my head, "My true love gave to me," but yet what's being played is sent to me. That just drives me crazy. Anyway, moving right along, we have Stretch Armstrong and the Flex Fighters. I could be completely wrong on this one, Sandy says, but it's bothering me, so I wanted to ask you about a classic toy called Stretch Armstrong. Question number 1. Which feet do you remember on Stretch Armstrong? 1, sneakers. 2, wrestler boots. Or 3, bare feet. And guys, please, this is your chance to interact and see what you remember. Anybody had a Stretch Armstrong, please say what you remember in the chat. 1, 2, or 3. Jeff, would you mind reading off the votes? Jeff, are you there?
Oh, he's muted. Number 3 so far for Frank. I've never owned one, but I have seen him, and I actually watch like people like stretch him and stuff. And for me, I don't know if you want us to answer yet or not.
Yeah, sure.
That's fine.
I remember number 2.
Yeah, same here. Number 2 for me.
Number 2
for me.
Joe Blow is a 2.
So-
Philo is a 3.
All right. So here's the thing. Question number 2, credit goes to Jeff Zanzibar. Which outfit was he wearing? You remember the left, or the right?
Well, the right doesn't look right either, but it.
Yeah, they both don't look right to me. I feel like he was wearing a shirt.
Yeah, I thought he was too, but it doesn't look right. That like what he was wearing wasn't that at all.
Well, then just
Anybody?
pick which one's
Left or right?
closest to you.
I'd have to say number 2 then, because number 1 is not like I don't remember him only being in a Speedo. It's the best word I can think of. What do you call that? Wrestler.
I guess that's what you call it. Yeah.
Like, what do you call it? Don't know what they call those. Yeah, I remember him having clothes on though.
Joe Bloor says left, but with a shirt and boots. Frank Nunez says right. Mandanimal says neither. I'm glad they make you laugh, Philo. High Pocket says loincloth.
Yeah,
It's okay if you don't remember Dominic. It's okay. Okay, Philo says, I thought he had a red unitard type thingy. That's possible. Heck,
Yeah.
showing more modesty,
he had like a
modesty
yellow
on the
shirt.
bottom.
I thought it was a yellow shirt. That's what I remember.
I think you're describing Hulk Hogan.
Well, he kind of reminded me of him. Like when I saw the action figure, I was just thinking like he was kind of like a knockoff version of Hulk Hogan.
Gotcha. Except Stretch Armstrong came way first.
Well, I mean, he could have taken his look from Stretch
true.
Armstrong. I mean, I always remember him being like, he was colorful and stuff.
Greg Streeter remembers the red unitard. Laurie H says they both don't look right. Well, one of them is how it is now, so.
So we definitely don't remember it the way it is now. And we don't remember it the other way either. So,
Brian, you didn't answer on this one. Which one do you remember?
I feel like the one on the left is wrong, so it's got to be the one on the right.
I mean, unless he had a unitard and I'm thinking he had more clothes, because I remember the boots, and therefore my brain wants to remember more clothing, because he definitely didn't just have the underwear thing on. So it is possible I'm thinking he had a shirt just because of the pants. Or the
All right,
pants, like I said, the
Before we
boots.
go further, I should have added another question. I'm going to ask everybody the question now. Stay here, Brian.
Okay.
What color clothes does everyone remember? What color?
Remember a yellow shirt.
Kind of yellow. Yeah, I remember yellow somewhere.
Red for
Right.
Philo. So you go on anyway. I said stay there. I want to see the colors they say.
Sorry.
It's okay. Yellow and red for Joe. Red for Frank Nunez. Mandanimal's red and yellow. Jeff, what color do you remember? You didn't answer.
Red and yellow.
Red and yellow.
So I'm not the only one that remembers yellow.
All right, we can go on now, Brian. A lot of reds and yellows.
Okay. So, Sandy, you want to read this one then? Or you want me to read it?
I can read it. It's fine. I'm now having a dual memory on the clothes and feet, thanks to Jeff. He does not remember the clothes like they are now. But neither one of us remember bare feet. Because they're bare feet now. A couple of you did remember 3. A couple of you remembered nothing on the feet, but I do not. Yeah, Brian.
Okay.
Now, Jeff does not remember sneakers, or you have a dual memory of sneakers, Jeff.
I have a dual memory of sneakers and boots, but definitely not bare feet.
I agree with that. Okay. And he said he remembered his tank and shorts. I remember this as well, but also remember the wrestler Speedo and wrestler boots, but a unitard sounds even better.
Yep.
So he is currently wearing a Speedo and nothing else. Zoom on the next slide, Brian. And it's blue. Not red, not yellow, it's blue. So obviously, as I say, I also remember him wearing red. I don't remember the blue at all.
It didn't look right.
I don't know, man. This is crazy. I don't remember the Speedo.
Bare feet are bothering me more than anything, too. I could have just missed these. Did you know there were Stretch Armstrong licensed figures like Spider-Man and the Hulk? Also, Octopus. Why there's one in blue and flesh, I don't understand. I've never seen different characters before by the company that made Stretch Armstrong. Like
That
they're
is
all
kinda
Stretch
crazy.
Monster, Stretch Octopus, Stretch Hulk. They're all by Stretch. Whoever makes the Stretch brand.
Interesting.
Crazy. I don't recall that. I would have ordered a Hulk.
Jeff, didn't you say that too?
Yeah, I did. I would have definitely wanted that.
Now, I don't know if the color's off here, but it looks like he's wearing black, and it's black on the box, but I couldn't find one with a black Speedo anywhere, except for this image. I think the color might be off, and that's navy blue. So I'm just saying I can't say this is me for sure, but now I can based on the answers in the chat. I think this is a change.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So here's some knockoffs that look better to me. Because at least they have boots.
I remember the boots, definitely.
So that's it for that one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know, guys. What do you think about that one?
Well, not a single person said blue.
Yeah.
And many people do not remember just a Speedo.
Interesting.
Yeah, that doesn't look right.
Okay. So apparently humanity has a new type of fire, and its discovery is thanks to tornadoes and supercomputers.
Oh, listen, turn your sound off. Someone told me that the clip I used, they like to copyright, so don't play sound with the video.
All right, no problem. So there's a new type of fire. Researchers at the University of Maryland in China have accidentally created a new type of flame that burns quietly and with no soot, making it a naturally occurring clean fire. Unlike fire created with chemicals such as butane, this starts out as a regular fire, but with the help of tornadic wind, spins into a clean new form of fire called a blue whirlwind.
By the way, I made up that word. Philo mentioned it last show. Turns out tornadic is not a word. It seems like it should be though, but it's not.
Well, what do you say, tornadoic?
Tornado wind, I guess. I don't know. Whirlwind. I just didn't want to use whirlwind again. But hey, they should add it.
As it burns, it spins just like a tornado or a top, and researchers believe this could have many practical uses, from heating to cooking, once contained and sustained for longer periods.
Another use, because it spins on top of water, is if there's an oil spill, it can clean up an oil spill in a matter of seconds by burning the oil.
And it's clean for the environment.
Mm-hmm.
How is this possible?
So this is the video you're not playing sound with.
I don't know if I can mute it.
Turn your sound off.
I can't turn my sound off.
All right, we'll just talk over it.
In a round glass
We'll just
tank
talk
with
over
go.
it while it's
Got it.
talking.
I got it.
Okay. So I'm still going to talk over it then. So this is the device they use to create it. They put a fuel source in there and lit it on fire. And at first it creates soot, and then it spins down to this blue whirlwind and keeps spinning, burning the fuel source without soot.
Wow. That could revolutionize mankind. And this video is from the lab, the actual blue whirlwind, new fire for the first time in history. That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Not very clear, but
The next one's clear. There's
is?
another
Okay.
video.
All right.
was recently discovered.
Wow. So it forms a funnel?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. Maybe these can help explain it.
Totally new to me.
Well, it's totally new to everyone. They just discovered it a year or two ago.
It's Fire 2.0.
Yeah, Fire 2.0.
That's what Greg says.
So is that a Mandela effect? Frank Nunez says, yeah, I've heard tornadic winds before, but if you search tornadic, it's not a word.
You mean it's not in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary?
Google doesn't even find tornadic.
That's scary. All right, someone else read.
I'll read because it's local. All right, guys. A local attraction has been Mandela, and this upsets me so much that I don't even like looking at this. That's how bad this is upsetting. There's also a typo in here, so it's probably better that I read. Now this you're going to want to play with. Actually, I don't know if there's sound in the video. Anyway, let's go. Keep going. I don't expect anyone to know this, but I'm going to show you that it's changed. In the East Passyunk neighborhood of South Philly, a few blocks of South 13th Street is perpetually decorated for Christmas. You found Tornadic? Maybe I had a typo when I typed it. The lights stay off until November, but when they come on, it's a magical experience of lights, music, block parties, a train for kids, and a drive-through attraction for vehicles. It's completely decorated, funded, and kept up by the residents of these homes, and I have driven through here almost every year that I've lived in Philly. I have not driven through this year. The name mirrored Miracle on 34th Street. The banner over the street used to say it, and it was called Miracle on 13th Street. That was the name. Miracle on 13th Street. But it's been Mandela. It's always been the Miracle on South 13th Street. Now it is South 13th Street, but that's not what this was called. It was just Miracle on 13th Street. This is wrong. It's wrong. It's too long. It's wrong. So here is residue and a video.
Can we go and play it?
Yep.
Can I play sound?
I don't think it has sound. Give me an idea of what
Reminds me of Pottersville. I mean, what is it? Bedford Falls before it turned into Pottersville.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
so
every
Falls.
I'm sure every place has a place like this.
Oh, I'm sure Savannah's got places like that. Savannah, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Ah! Whack a penguin. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fully
the baby.
barking.
That baby needs to be in bed.
It's probably 5 p.m. Yeah, remember it gets dark this time of year.
Yeah, true.
All right, so here we have the current reality, and some of them are mixed. So there's two of them. It's not the Miracle, it's just Miracle. But they have South 13th Street, so they made the red slide. This one has an S. I gave it a pass. But here's a flyer for it, Miracle on 13th Street. This person's at the block party and says he's at Miracle on 13th Street. There's just a lot of residue for what I remember. I probably typed in something wrong, I probably spelled tornadic wrong and it didn't find it. known as Miracle on 13th Street. That's another thing. I remember it written out street, not ST period like it is now. There's Miracle on 13th Street in quotations. The picture below is Boathouse Row. That's another area where you can see a lot of Christmas lights in Philly. I'm still losing my voice.
There's no place like home on the Sagittarius arm.
I'm so upset over this. At least Google remembers my reality. This is the wrong slide. The slide shouldn't have been uploaded. I forgot that I had a picture of Google. Let's go to the next slide. It's the same words. There you go. So if you Google this place, they have Miracle on 13th Street, like I remember.
Are you saying now it's South 13th Street?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
South 13th ST. And it's the Miracle. There's just some pictures.
Now, do you and Joey like to go strolling through the and looking at the lights?
Well, no, because I can't really go strolling. But, and also, you can't really drive anymore because then you lose your parking spot. It's horrible.
Well, I'm sure there's TikTokers probably posting videos and YouTubers posting videos of it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
See, we used to live much closer to this than we do now. I mean, it's still only like a 5-minute drive, but it was like a 5-minute walk before.
Now, who was that guy in the bathrobe right there?
That's Randy Quaid from.
Oh yeah, the Randy Quaid guy. Maybe I'm not zoomed in on it. It didn't
Uncle
look like
Eddie.
him at first.
Uncle Eddie from.
Yeah, Uncle Eddie.
Why am I blanking on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation? There we go.
I just watched that movie last night. Okay, that's it for that folder.
Yeah. Someone else please read. I gotta give my throat, my voice a break.
Let's talk about these board games.
It's a long one.
Oh gosh, okay, yeah, we need to get through the long one. Okay.
They're all long. That's why there's only 5 folders. They're long folders, except for like
Okay.
2 of them.
So there are just a few toys from my childhood that I want to ask you about that may or may not be Mandela effects, but they are new to me. So these little muscle toys, we're all the rage when I was a kid in the mid 1980s. So which logo do you remember? Top or bottom? Do you remember the 2 fists at the top, or do you remember no fists at all? The M has a fist in it. Actually, both M's have fists on them. Anybody in the chat? Can somebody read from the chat, Jeff or Esther?
Yeah.
You guys.
No answers yet for this.
Yeah, the figures.com was added. I just didn't feel like taking that out of both logos.
Yeah, I don't recognize this brand or toy.
But that was the best muscle logo I could find. That was best quality.
Joe Bloor, I don't remember this. That's all we got so far. Now, I do remember, and I have them, and I do not remember the fists.
Dominic is bottom. Frank is a 90s kid, so I don't know. It's okay. And Animal's bottom.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either. But yeah, botanist.
Bottom dresser. Brian, what about you?
I don't really know this one, so I can't say.
Oh, that's okay. Well, then we can go on. We got enough answers. It was an acronym. I don't remember what it stood for. Minuscule something. I don't know. It was an acronym, though. Dominic collected them.
The
as a
answer,
kid.
the answer is at the top. So I have no memory of the first, which of course makes total sense to have there. A pattern we see with MEs all the time, but there's something else I don't remember. You remember the cutie version for girls? I've collected some of the muscle toys, but have never seen these before. Have you?
Anyone in the chat, have you ever seen cuties? Which stood for cute. I just saw this. Cute something. I don't know. If they're acronyms, I don't know what they stand for. BioFire says no. Joe Bloor says no.
Never seen those before.
Me
Dominic
either.
says yes.
Oh, wow.
I was the target
Were these-
audience. I don't remember.
Were these 80s or 90s?
80s.
80s.
Yep, mid-80s.
Well, they had a .com address,
No,
right?
no. That was just the website. That was,
Um,
that was, someone made like a fan site, and they had the quality logo, so I used that to edit the logo. And I wasn't editing out the .com thing.
more cutie pictures here. Number 2. I can't say this for sure, but this is a change to our history or not. One of the best-selling toys of Christmas past has a version I've never seen before. Hey Sandy, hold on. Did we ever talk about that log thing that
No,
they
that's
do?
coming up. That's coming up.
Okay, good. Yes or no? Have you ever heard of Animal Twister?
No, Brian.
Ever?
Brian. That's coming up Christmas Eve, because that's a Christmas one. That's super. The super Christmas ones I save for Christmas Eve.
Okay,
For that
okay,
one.
good. Okay, yes or no? Have you guys ever heard of Animal Twister? Anybody?
Philo says, wow, no.
No,
Movie Cartoon says no.
I don't remember it.
Laurie H says, I don't remember those, and I'm an 80s kid. Frank Nunez is a no. You're not giving them time to answer. Dominic is a no. Joe Brewer is a no.
I have enough
Hypothesis is a no.
answers. I can go ahead and move on. Twister Jr., which is sold today, has an animal theme that is reversible for different age groups.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm just showing you.
But I have asked so many people, not one remembers this animal-themed Twister sold from 1987 through the early 80s.
67 through the early 80s.
67. So 1967, they had Animal Twister. No way.
I don't remember that either.
That is total BS. Unlike the regular game, there is no spinner. Instead, you pull tiles from a bag like a Scrabble to determine your next move. That's so weird, guys.
Absolutely not.
We would have played this as kids.
Yes.
Do you think this is just a game lost in time, or lost or changed to our timeline, where Animal Twister was a thing?
I think it's change. I think it's a change for a timeline.
Same
'Cause there's
here.
more coming up. You're gonna see.
So not
Okay.
Twister branded, but also worth mentioning and also new to me. Have you ever heard of Body Boggle? Twister with words.
Anyone?
Number 3.
You didn't even let them answer. They
Oh, okay.
barely answer.
I didn't see a yes or no. Sorry.
It's okay. Well,
Okay.
there's a question. Have you ever heard of Body Boggle?
Have you guys ever heard of it?
Like, how are you spelling words with your body?
I only remember regular boggle.
Yeah, same.
Me too.
Blew my mind when I saw this. I'm like, how? How do you do this?
Moving on to number 3. Finally, we come to one of the most games of the 70s and early 80s, Perfection. This one, that the little timer ticker would drive me crazy as you're trying to, because you have to take everything out or put everything in before the thing buzzes.
Mhm.
First, the original logo is all kinds of messed up, and the logo on the box, I remember, is merged, but strangely has a normal F, but cut off T instead of it being normal or cut off.
And the E's are crooked.
Yeah, but the E's are also pointed upward. Yeah, and the PE is merged. The T is cut off on the left, and
But
also I
not
don't
the
remember
F.
the timer. There's like a little clock symbol over the and the O.
Mm-hmm.
The E's are pointed upwards at an angle.
It's not
Anybody
about
else?
remembering perfection. I remember perfection. I
Of
just
course,
don't remember
yeah.
what I'm about to show you.
Did you master it? Did you ever master the game?
Yes, that one, yes.
Okay. But the logos aren't the real reasons I'm covering this. It's the sequel game. The name has changed for me. Once again, this is one of those where the new way makes just as much, if not more, sense. So what was this game called? Super Blank or Super Blank?
With or without a space, doesn't matter to me. Brian, stay here because this one upsets me too. I want to see
Okay.
if anyone. I mean, it should be a dead giveaway what the name is, but
Okay.
I gave the best hint I could. I gave you the first part of it. Super. Does anyone know the name of this one?
I actually don't know the name of this one.
I will have to move on after 1 minute, though, Sandy. I'll have to go to the next slide. So, guys, hurry up and answer. Let's get the answers out there. So, what do you remember? Super Blank or Super Blank?
I have to be on mute. I'm coughing, so I'm gonna mute.
Okay.
I don't know this one, Sandy. Do you know this one, Jeff?
Yes, and I have a different memory than what it is now.
All right. So this game was way harder than the normal than the original. I clearly remember the name. It was Super Perfection in my past, with 2 words.
Well, no. I like I said, I could go with one word or two. Either
Yeah,
one's
in
fine.
this
It was
reality,
super perfection.
yeah, in this reality or world or whatever, it's always been superfection. It sounds like you're in love with the game.
No, for me, I think infection.
No, I'm thinking of affection,
Yeah.
superfection.
I see
Anyway,
that too, yes.
every time I say it, it makes me think of infection. This is not the name. Do you remember it like this? No, it was not superfection.
No.
Oh man, that's just awful. So awful.
So, for those of you not familiar with this, you had to put the puzzle piece together. It wasn't just sticking one piece in; you had to stick 2 pieces in. So
Was
much
it the
harder.
same timer? Or did they give you more time on the timer?
Same timer. Same timer.
There is residue of it. Vacation Beard says I liked Super Perfection even better. So this is pretty huge, you guys. Super Perfection. It says right here in the listing, but then in the actual image it says Superfection. So again, a couple residues there. You have super perfection in the newspaper ads, but then super perfection in the picture. Again, on the lower image, it says super perfection. No, more residue, super perfection. I also have no memory of any of these versions of perfection. Do you remember head-to-head challenge, or even a computer version?
No, head-to-head, challenge, or computer perfection. There's 3 different types there.
I don't know.
Do you guys remember any of these?
No. I always wanted a Simon.
Yeah, Simon, but have you ever... Has
What's
anyone
the
ever heard of
head-to-head?
these?
Sounds familiar.
Okay.
There's a
Head-to-head
video
is
here.
self-explanatory. Challenge was a multiplayer version in computer. No idea it's alien looking, so much so it was used as advanced tech in a soap opera.
So that image at the top left, that's a soap opera.
Let's see, maybe I can play sound.
And we play the perfect electronic game. Computer perfection.
That's so weird.
I don't even understand how it's played. I think it's like a Simon, but it's called super perfection.
I've never heard of this.
I mean, computer perfection. Well, I got the super perfection stuck in my head.
There's challenge perfection now. Head-to-head.
And look, head
No,
to head.
no.
Yeah.
I only
Upside
remember
down.
regular perfection. That was all that was out, and maybe super perfection, but not any of these.
No, not any of these. And now there's
I
another
also
one
have
too.
no memory of puzzle perfection. It looks like a colorful dominoes to me. Have you ever seen this before? Not me. Are any of these changes for you? Have you ever played any of these? These are all foreign to me, and I believe these could be a result of possibly merging timelines.
There's 6 different versions of perfection now. 6.
Yeah, I think we have time for one more folder.
No, Brian. 15 hours I worked on that. We're doing them.
Okay, let's see. The
Besides,
rest of these
they're
should be
shorter.
pretty short.
Yeah, there's only one long folder left. The rest are short. And
All
you
right,
don't want
so
to do yours?
no, I'm gonna do mine. All right, so credit goes to me. I found this one. Recently noticed a change to the Dr. Seuss Christmas classic about a Grinch who tries to steal Christmas from a small town. I know you guys know this movie. It's a classic. Please spell the name of the town where the Whos lived and how the Grinch stole Christmas. Or if you remember it the other way, the Grinch who stole Christmas. Whichever way you remember. How do you remember the town being spelled?
So please spell the name in the chat. And Brian's giving you a time limit of a minute, so type fast.
Yes, you have 1 minute. I'm really going over on time.
Yeah, I told you we were going to. I needed to start at 11.
Okay. All right, we got any answers from the chat?
Yeah.
Yes. Greg Streeter says Whoville, one word. Violet Fire, Whoville, one word. Joe Bloor, Whoville, one word with 2 O's. Frank Nunez is Whosville with an S. High Pockets is Whoville, one word. And Animal is Whoville, one word. Sweet Cartoons is Whoville, one word. All one word.
Is anybody putting any hyphens or anything in it, or are they leaving
Nope.
it without no hyphens?
Oh,
Okay,
you're
what you're
welcome,
about to
Frank.
discover may shock
Thank you.
What you're
What?
about to discover may shock you. So Sandy and I remember Whoville without the hyphen. One word, but now it's two words with a dash in the middle. Is this your memory?
Philo says could have been who Dashville, question mark.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I don't remember it.
But Dash looks
There-
I wish I could say one way.
the thing is, there's tons of residue out there. I went to my bowling alley nearby where I live, and that's where I saw it. It was like, wow, no, it was not like that. And then I saw it was at the intro of the movie too. In the very beginning scene, it shows it with the hyphen. I do not remember this, guys.
It's also in the post office. Like you actually see Whoville written a lot in the town in the movie version.
No hyphen for me.
Now there's going to be an interesting picture coming up in the residue. I have to point it out when we get to it.
Yeah. Now
So this
these.
is orange because it's two words, no dash. There's a third reality.
Yeah. Okay. Residue with the Whoville with the one word, like we remember.
Yeah, I just had a thought.
Wait a minute. I gotta stop Ryan. There's a really important picture coming up. It's the next slide.
That one?
Or maybe it's not the next slide. How many green slides are there? Is there another one, Brian?
That's it.
Oh, go back then. What the heck? There should be a green one of them behind, like, filming the movie. All right, stop. Let me look. Oh, I'm going to have to add that if it's not here. All right, I guess it's not here. Or wait, well, go to the red. Let me look at the red or the orange. Maybe it was both ways in the red or orange. Go back. Let me see. Stop there a minute.
Oh, stop there.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at small pictures. No, I'm going to have to add a slide. There's a scene. It looks like they're filming the movie. And on the post office, it doesn't have the dash. I don't know why it's not here.
Wow.
But, all right, I'll find it. I'll find it and I'll show it next week. So what were you
Okay,
saying,
that's fine.
Esther? I'm so sorry.
I know. I was just thinking. We were talking about earlier how people are saying that they're jumping to other realities and stuff, and if that's the case, if people are doing all of that stuff, I just had this thought: it's like, are they bringing their realities with them?
That may be a consequence of reality shifting. Maybe you're bringing your reality with you.
And that could be why it's like we remember different things because other people are bringing new things in with them. It's not just them that's changing, but they're bringing in their stuff. Sorry, my voice is going. Try not to talk too much because my voice is just gone.
We're both losing it.
That's a good theory.
Yeah, it was just a thought. It just popped in my head.
It's definitely possible.
Hey, Brian, before we start this very short, this is only like 4 slides. I'm going to show you. I found it. I'm going to send them to you.
How are you going to send it?
I sent it to Messenger.
Okay.
It looks like 2 movie sets, and both say Whoville Post Office. No dash. And quickly, I am going to make a slide so I don't forget to add to the presentation for next week for a Curiouser show on Tuesday.
Wait, this is from you say this is from the actual movie, right? The one
It
with Jim
looks
Carrey?
it looks like there's snow machines and lights and cast members walking around. It looks like, I don't know, do you think it looks like the movie? I think it does.
Yeah. The Whoville post office, it's got without the dash there. It's one word.
There's 2 pictures.
Yeah. Whoville post office.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. is that?
I don't know. I hear interference or something.
It sounds like electronic crickets.
Oh no, it's me. I'll mute. Another reason I've been muting, but I've also been having like coughing spells, so I'll be putting on mute.
Are you okay, Esther?
Yeah, just this stupid chest stuff that every once in a while I get coughing still. It's this stupid virus that just won't quit.
Yeah, man.
Not contagious. I just keep coughing. And which is
Hope
why
you
my
feel
voice
better.
is weird.
Hope you feel
Jeff,
better.
do you want to read one?
I'll read this one. There is a skateboard that just popped up in my reality, and I'm curious if it's new to yours as well.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Right? Seriously, just no. The long rider looks so dangerous. Skateboard never ever existed in my past. Is this new for you, or have you actually seen this before?
Looks like it would
Any-
cause some major back pains among people in the like my age.
Seriously,
Right?
I've never seen anything like this. Has
Me
anyone
either.
ever seen this before? The long rider.
Not to be confused with the Lone Rider.
Or the low rider.
I mean, yeah.
All my friends drive a
I mean, if
long
you pull
rider.
on that too hard, couldn't you technically pull the skateboard out from under you and you just fall? Or if you drop it, could you just trip over it? Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks so dangerous.
Anybody in the chat, have you guys ever seen this before?
Philo says looks like skis. High Pocket says no. Greg Streeter, Capitals, no. Fragdunia says, I just saw a one-wheeled skateboard recently. I've seen that, yes. Mandanimal's a nope. Fragdunia is calling it the backbreaker.
Yeah, so I guess it gives you steering capabilities.
No, it's like a handle. That's it.
No, it looks like this person's
Oh,
able to
maybe it
steer.
does give you steering capabilities.
You're able to steer with it.
I don't see how.
I don't know why they just didn't give you a handlebar or call it a razor.
That would have made more sense.
Philo says never seen. They are vintage. This is from the 80s.
I used to hang out with skater kids in the 80s that would have had this if this existed. They definitely would have had this.
I love the trick in the air. Transportation in a whole new way.
Kind of looks like E.T.
It does.
Elliot and E.T.
It looks like he's holding his own leash.
Yeah.
It seriously does. It looks like he's like, here, I'm going to hold my own leash. I'm gonna jump in here.
All right, this is the last folder of the night. It's kind of long. We got a song change. We've got character changes.
All right, I'll read this one.
You got to let people answer, though, Brian. This is big.
Okay, can we do it in 6 minutes? See.
Probably not. There's a lot in here. There's 6 changes. No way. Let's go.
Okay. Over the years, we've found many Mandela effects in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. From the dash in the title, and don't forget, a lot of people remember Red Nose instead of Red Nose.
I'm going to mention that. I found that one a very long time ago.
The Yukon Cornelius wearing 2 different colors. The Manscuses, they filmed it twice with different dolls. And Brian discovered him carrying a pistol in 2018. So I found even more changes from my memory, like red nosed, not nosed. white patch on the neck of the deer, and Santa's checkered hat and pants that make him look like Sherlock Holmes. But this year, I've not only found 4 mostly minor changes to the characters, but I've also found a word change in one of Burl Ives' songs. And Sandy, I'm looking at the Burl Ives, and that notice it's missing part of the L.
Yes, it is.
Is that? Did you know that?
I was looking at that, but I thought that maybe it was because it's not a screenshot. It's a photo I got off the internet, so I thought somebody edited
Okay,
it.
it looks like Bury Ives.
Yeah, Bury.
Does.
Anyways, one of the changes to Bambi, the toupee or a patch of darker hair on the head, is now visible on Rudolph as well. Do you remember his head darker like this? I don't.
I don't remember a pointy dark patch on Rudolph.
No, that's new. So 2 and 3, Hermie the Elf and Misfit Doll. Okay, these might not be Mandela, but even if they aren't, they're still odd. Starting with the Misfit Doll. Was she a misfit just because of her hair? Am I supposed to pause?
Nope, you can go on.
So I swore she had one braid and the other side was messed up, like it is now. But there's no braid now. And now her hair is almost identical to Wendy Thomas.
So she's on
Yeah,
the
her
Misfit
hair.
Island because she's got Wendy Thomas hair.
It's funny because I went to Wendy's earlier. And this could just be as a result of film quality, but in some scenes, Hermie looks like he's wearing lipstick over his lip line, like he has lip fillers. Do you remember his mouth looking like this?
And in
No.
some scenes, it looks like he's wearing full-on makeup, like blush and everything else. Like even in this one on the right, his cheeks are really pink.
No,
But
I
then
don't
on the
remember
left,
that.
but then
I don't
there's
remember.
also scenes where it's normal, so I don't know what's going
No,
on.
he had normal lips.
Yeah, like
He
the one on the
did.
right.
He did. That looks so ridiculous.
It looks like he's wearing lipstick and he has fillers. It's
does.
so weird looking.
See, yes. So what do you think? So the silver and gold. Okay, number 4, silver and gold. One of these lesser known songs in the movie is Silver and Gold, sung by Burl Ives, the snowman narrator. Please fill in the blank. Excuse me. Which word do you remember? M, so much more when I see silver and gold decorations on every Christmas tree. You know that one?
I know it. Guys, M blank. What's the M word? Blank, so much more when I see silver and gold decorations on every Christmas tree.
For some reason, the word many populates in my head. Is that the right answer?
No, say many with the sentence, Brian.
Many, so much more when I see.
No, not many.
I don't know. What is it?
Okay, so Philo says means. High Pocket says means.
No idea.
Anyone else? Going once? If you don't know, that's fine. Thank you for answering, Greg. So I remember means.
I've only known this
Like
word to be
animal.
means, but it's mean now. And I can't just imagine the man's goose.
I know,
Some
I can
people-
just imagine the man's goose now.
Yeah, so some people will try to say that I heard means because the next word means so. Absolutely not. I always heard means so, clear as a bell, and it was never mean. Even YouTube remember
Closed
CC
captioning.
means remembers means.
Silver and gold mean so much more when I see.
And then I would slow down next with the closed captioning.
I think you're right. I think it was mean so. It
was means so much more.
But you're telling me in the lyric it's different?
It's mean. Mean
My
so
buzzer's
much
going
more.
off. We're almost done with this. I'm gonna extend it a little bit longer so we can finish this. Yeah, so the lyrics actually say means so much.
And he sings mean.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. But I found the perfect residue. So you can hear
Well,
it.
maybe it's
For those who don't know the song,
I know
they
the
can
man
hear
the
it the way I
man's
remember
cues.
it.
The man's excuse I could see is probably because it's talking about the plural, silver and gold decoration. Silver and gold mean so much more when I see.
Except there's a pause. And no, it was means. Anyway, you're going to hear it exactly how I remember it.
Look like you got some words here that are saying it means so much more when I see.
Silver and gold, silver and gold means so much more when I see.
You could clearly hear means so much more. That's the way I remember it. So
All
now
right.
we have another question.
That's a good one. The Abominable Snowman, number 5. The Abominable Snowman is the largest character in the story. The protagonist who is bad until his teeth are pulled out. And Cornelius brings him to Santa's home at the North Pole. Did you mean the antagonist?
Yeah, I meant the antagonist. I was rushing to get done to be on the show.
That's okay. Question number 1. What color fur do you remember on the Abominable? What color do you remember, guys?
I could not remember his name for the life of me, but his name is Bumble. So what color fur do you remember, guys? Interesting. Chloe remembers blue. Philo is white with icy blue highlights. Frank Nunez is white. High Pockets is light blue. Joe Bloor is white. I'm not saying it. Greg Streeter says white. Not putting that out there.
I want to say white, but also light blue. Sound. If for some reason I'm seeing light blue in my head now.
White for me.
White
But I want to say white.
I could see like shadows being blue, but his fur was white for me.
Yeah. For some weird reason, I'm seeing like a light. It was like a bluish gray. But I want to say white, but for some reason my brain wants to see like a bluish gray color.
Your brain wants to take an update, but that's not
Right.
not blue.
So please answer yes or no question. With the color or colors, are his face and hands the same color? And what color or colors, if no, do you remember?
So guys, you're going to answer yes or no / and then the color or colors. So are his face and hands the same color, yes or no? And then / what color are his face and hands or colors? What do you remember?
They were blue, in my memory.
Philo says his palms were darker.
I think his face was blue, but he had the white around it, like he had like a white mustache.
No, that's fur. We're just talking about the
Fur,
face
yeah,
and
fur.
the hands.
The face and the hands were blue, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The same color, yes or no?
I believe
Yes.
so.
Yes.
The face was definitely blue.
Esther?
Mhm.
Esther, what do you remember?
Sorry. I don't. Not 100% certain.
Okay.
Wait, is Frank serious? I don't know if he's serious or not. He says, no, blue face peach hands.
All right. So Sandy's stepson had the official stuffed character dolls when he was younger. She used to decorate around the stockings with them. He was always white. In Sandy's past, his face and hands were the same color, blue, which sometimes looked like a steel blue in the movie. Again, we could have been dealing with the two versions man excuse, but his fur is gray now, not white like I remember, and his face and hands don't match anymore.
You guys remember him this dark? Wait till the snow falls on
For
him.
some reason, this reminds me of King Kong.
Yeah, it does. You guys remember him that dark gray?
No.
No.
What the? I think he hasn't had a bath in years. He needs a shower. Oh my
There's
word!
no icy blue.
Yeah, it was like a grayish, like blue color.
His skin is also gray, not blue.
I also don't remember them being shiny. His hands look very shiny there.
Yeah, there's a lot of shininess happening. Santa's suit is shiny now. Like
Oh
it's
wow!
plastic.
In some scenes, they look like a gray blue, and other scenes, but just plain gray. But in all scenes, the face is lighter shade of the same color of his hands and feet. Is
That's
this
too
what you
gray.
remember?
There's no blue. I can't. It's wrong. His fur is too dark. Everything's wrong.
Some even remember his fur being a light purple or blue. What I find interesting is if you adjust the saturation, his fur does get a hint of purple to it.
And his skin goes blue.
Wow. It was definitely not like a dark gray, like he was white. Like he was a white abominable.
Mm-hmm. It's too dark.
Yeah, definitely. There is residue here, as you can see. Face
Mandela says
matching the hands. Huh?
abominable soot man.
I need to hire him to put my star on my tree. All right. Yeah, more residue for the blue. So, just a little bonus: this 1970s 8-track of the soundtrack, the logo and titles were not like this. We've covered MCA before. The E's, what the heck? Look at that.
And the A's.
The A's and the E's. Look. The E's look like the hamburger button on your typical internet browser or any app. You open it to get into the settings. You usually have to click on the hamburger button. The 3 lines. That's what the E looks like now. MCA Records.
And the RA, no, not the RA, the CA is merged.
The A is an upside down B now.
Yeah.
He got smurfed. That's what Philifire said. Austin, Joe Bloor he's funny. Yeah. Austin Powers Snowman.
And Mandela said abominable soot man. I like that one too.
Well, guys, this is only part one. We've got part 2 and part 3, so be sure to stay tuned for that.
Let's
Coming.
remind them again that next week we're having our normal show on Christmas Eve. It's going to be a little bit earlier. And the following week, we're actually going to have a show on Friday, December 30th, not New Year's Eve. So Friday, December 30th is the only real change, and a little bit earlier on Christmas Eve. So make sure you mark that down so you don't miss anything. And we'll also be on Curious's channel on Tuesday this week.
Oh, you're welcome, Joe Bloor. He said thanks for the show. Hey, we
no
appreciate you
problem.
guys. We appreciate you
do.
guys very much, and hope you have a wonderful week. We'll catch you again
Next Saturday,
same
Christmas Eve.
Saturday, Christmas Eve. Yeah. So have a great Mandela Effect night. God bless everyone.
Night,
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye. Night.